So we'll officially call a meeting to order. And with that being said, anybody that might be tuning in, JD, would you care to introduce yourself and come around the table here?
JD Neidlinger, Drainage Board member.
Greg Leakey, Drainage Board member.
Amy Foltz, Surveyor Deputy.
Doug Bauman, Chairman of the Drainage Board Commissioner.
Steve Bailey, Commissioner.
Mike Whirling, Adams County Surveyor.
Okay, thank you. First thing on the agenda is to either approve or talk about the minutes from the last meeting. Amy's July 15th, 2025, correct?
Yes.
Okay, the minutes should be in front of you. Do we have any questions or concerns about those minutes?
Motion.
Move
Go ahead,
to
JD.
approve.
I'll second.
Okay, JD, motion, Steve made a second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion is carried, to approve the minutes. So, Amy was thinking about, doing a different format, agenda format, and so Amy, you want to fill us in just a bit on that, and then, where we are with that, waiting on a legal, feedback, is that correct?
Yes, yeah, with the new code, the question was brought up at the last meeting, if there's any way we can, instead of putting all the, people's term dates and names on the new agenda, if we can just put refer to the, website, and I am waiting on information from the attorney yet, if we
Okay.
can do that.
So, Mike, we'll just put number 2 on hold on your agenda for today.
So that's across the board with all public meetings here, have that same issue. And what she's turning into the newspapers right now, they're not printing what's required, so I don't know the answer.
Okay, we'll just put that one on hold until next meeting, see where it comes, get the feedback you need. Mike, watershed funds and collections, follow up on that.
Yeah, so you guys were wanting me to look into the very low ones and see what we can do, the ones we usually want to work on. I want to involve Kevin with that because he's the one that repairs these. And he has a lot better handle on it. We talked a little bit the other day on it, but didn't go farther. So we're working on that, we have a lot of them in the 70 cents here range, so. And doesn't buy much tile now.
Nothing.
Okay, so
So
if
let's.
any of those get changed, then we gotta have a hearing on
Yeah,
each
everything will
one.
have to be a hearing for each watershed would have to be a hearing. I know when I was at the surveyors conference, there was a county, and I might have shared this with you already, a county in central Indiana that hadn't raised theirs in years and years. They hired a firm, an engineering firm to come in, and they raised 70 some over 2 days.
Yeah.
They had a 2-day hearings.
Public
Each
hearing.
one needed its own hearing.
Okay.
I don't know that we have to be that extreme, but theirs they were way down. It was in the middle of the Adams County or Indiana.
Did you get information down there roughly what the average is for watershed?
No, actually, I didn't. I know we had a discussion about that when they were talking that, and it's all over the board, what you do. There are some counties that don't have any watersheds. Like Brown County.
Oh,
I think they might have one legal drain or something.
Yeah.
And no tiles.
Yeah, pretty hard to do that in the hills.
Yeah, so it's really interesting when we start to do that.
in your opinion, and do we have any that are as high as $3?
I don't believe so. I can look through there now.
50?
I think 275s, I think there is
75?
some.
Sounds like a good number to me.
Yeah. There's a $2, we have a $3 Branninger. And that's part of Wells County, Adams Wells.
Okay.
So that's an unusual one here. Dimer Dur is $3. That's the one we raised a little while ago, a couple years ago. So, yeah, when I go out and talk to these guys and I tell them, here's a 62 cents, the Gherky, and they kind of, they laugh at me because why is that so low? $12.50 minimum on this one. So.
You know, when we did the Upper Weber Something that was really helpful, I thought, was, did the inventory of, open ditches and tile in that watershed. Have you done any more of those? You like,
What do you mean, to look at them, to review them?
yeah, like review, remember, we talked about doing like inventory of each watershed to
Yeah.
kind of have visibility of, you know, how many feet of open drain, how many feet of tile.
Yeah, so we have that, I can tell you that, yeah, that's all in the inventory.
But you started putting together, you have a sheet now, kind of a recap sheet that recaps all of that
Yes.
for us.
Yeah.
Have,
Like,
are
if you
all,
want-
are all those completed, or do you complete those as they come up for review?
Yes and no, yeah, it's as we work on them, but we
Right.
have that master that we work
Okay.
off of,
So
I'll
it'll,
get that to you guys, you'd be
That was
interested in seeing
helpful. You know, it gave some visibility and kind of helped, you know,
that.
put,
Yeah, let me
we
get
could put
that.
some numbers to it, I think.
me work
if you
on
know.
We have to carry an inventory and the designation of each one, you know, like where they're at, so.
Okay.
I'll make that one.
Any more discussion on the?
Yeah, I do have one more in that. On where there's, I'm not trying to pick, but it's the way it is. Where Amish folks take their dishwater that turns black and puts it into the side ditch. How would any of those people have the justification to complain about it? $100 minimum per residence.
Oh.
And some of them have 3 and 4 residences at one place. And they say
So-
there's only one.
A lot of that, I don't know the line, there's a lot of that the health department has control of, you know, with the sanitary. I know when we get black water, when my guys get black water in a tile they're repairing, they call me out there and we look at it and I report that. And the health department follows up on it.
Good.
They can't go onto private property by rules, the way I understand. So they use our drainage easement to get to the stream to sample it.
Okay.
That's the way they described it to me, that their powers are restricted also. I guess I don't know. the story.
We need balance. But
Yeah.
we're not kissing cousins either.
So we know there's black water in our tiles. We know it's going into some ditches when I report these. They can test it. They can prove that it's human, animal, whatever. But where does it come from is their question there all the time.
So we-
Move on.
the comment was made that is turned over to the health department. The question then becomes, is the health department, the environmental section of the health department doing what they need to do?
That's a good question.
And we're working on that. Okay? Let's just say we're working on that, okay?
All right.
Okay, anything else, JD, Greg,
No.
Steve?
Nope,
You
good.
Really
Ready to move
move on? Okay, so, Mike, when you get those unanswered in place, then bring them, put it on the next agenda or whatever. So let's move on to, are you ready to move on to the Andrews then, Mike?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just making notes here.
Steve would probably have some input on this one.
Yeah, we've had several meetings recently. Mike, go ahead.
So, we're talking about the Andrews system. Number one, it started with the pond, as you know that, with the detention pond there. And that being owned by Parks and Rec of Adams County. There was talk to turn that over to, or to transfer it to Monroe or whatever. I said, let's wait a little bit on that and let's think about this. So we had Steve and myself and Rod Rinkenberger and Nate Rumschlag and Justin Schaefer from Monroe. We've met down there and now, and Rod Rinkenberg got involved with the Maumee River Basin Commission. And Rod has, the Maumee River Basin Commission has money available for a study. So we are approaching it we had an engineer working on a proposal for a study. Would be the right way to put that. I'm on the town board of Monroe on Thursday night. They told me 6:30, but it starts at 6. To explain this to them. We haven't spent any money yet. We're just looking at what we could do. We know, everybody knows that Monroe it has issues with stormwater. And we're trying to think of a way outside the box to handle that stormwater, along with our farmers. We have, whatever, 240 some acres going into that, I believe, maybe a little more than that. Nobody has any information on that whole system. It's what we are piecing together so far is telling them what we have there. It's amazing, really. And Steve knows where the water flows when it flows.
Right by my house. Yeah.
They're good with this. The water runs, they know it's gonna run down the streets and they play in the water. So,
I don't play in the water. Let's clear that up. But Mike has really done a deep dive on this for Town of Monroe and everybody else that feeds into that watershed. So he's, and working with Rod Rakenberger, we think we're gonna be able to pull together a project to really do a study of that watershed and that whole stormwater and potentially put together a whole stormwater treatment plan, I guess, is the way to, stormwater treatment
Yeah.
plan.
well, yeah.
So that's the first phase is if we could figure out how to pay for a study. And then once that study's done, then that could give us all, Drainage Board, county and Town of Monroe, a go forward plan as to how to resolve those issues. So that's really what we're looking on at
Yeah.
is identifying a go forward. And it could take 10, 15, 20 years of constantly working on that toward the resolution of that plan. But we, from the Town of Monroe's perspective, we just haven't had that plan. So it's kind of been firefighting versus being able to go out and actually improve over the long term that stormwater situation. So
So we split the cost for this?
we don't know. We don't know.
Well, yeah, that's,
MRBC has money. They can come to the table with, what did they say? Lots of times it's 75-25.
yeah.
That the MRBC can come up with 75% of the cost. So we would have to come up with maybe 25% from a local match. So maybe split that time between drainage and Town of Monroe, or we don't know how that's gonna work out, but
That's something you'll decide as commissioners, or we decide as drainage board, or?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, the Town of Monroe,
I don't know.
probably all of the above.
Yeah.
If
So
anything major.
they would, so Rod would probably line up someone like Christopher Burke to do that.
That's exactly who we've already met with
We've met
Christopher
with them.
Burke down there, and they're putting together a proposal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a request for a proposal is what we got right now. So
Yeah.
request,
Yeah, Rod put together a request for proposal and Burke's put together a proposal. So well, the first thing is how much is it gonna cost and who's gonna pay for it, and then we'll go from there.
it was really amazing at our meeting the other day that, they're not thinking just of this pond. They're thinking of regional stuff.
Really?
How far do we want to go? Which, that's what it takes there. It takes both town and county and to,
Including
To
Yellow
make a
Creek, which we
difference.
know Yellow Creek runs
Same area.
yeah.
So it might be,
same areas, yeah.
you know, if things would work out, might be a year before the study's even done.
Yes, I would say at least, yeah.
Does it matter who owns this parcel? Will that-
Well, there is a possibility of using that property as part of cost share. So how did Rod explain that? If the city, Town of Monroe can use the transfer as part of their cost share in there possibly, you know?
Rod's kind of a wizard at trying to figure out how to make all this work and federal funding and get all that and how you do it with as little of local dollars as possible, because none of us have any money. I mean, Town of Monroe don't have any money.
Yeah.
That's the reason we're where we're at today, because they don't have any money. So,
We started talking about this because we talked about transferring it to.
Right,
Town of Monroe.
right.
So we're just kind of, everything's on hold,
yeah,
so we get all our
Well,
ducks in a row.
that really
and
never
next
went
month.
anywhere yet.
Yeah.
We were, that was just a
Yeah.
discussion. Well, actually, it was a surprise to most people that the county even owned it.
yeah, but it is
I'm
on
in a meeting
hold
right now. I have to get back.
So what Town of Monroe wants to do is they want to begin to work on improving the park. They really didn't, wasn't really, this pond thing was kind of that's all part of the same property. So I've told Justin to work with Jeremy Gilbert with the Park Department and go ahead and begin to figure out how to make these improvements in the park, if they can get some funding, whatever. That ultimately, at least that park, we can transfer to the Town of Monroe, if not the whole the whole complex. But yeah, Rod seemed to think that it may be advantageous to wait on that transfer, at least of the pond, until we kind of figure out where this is going. So it could be a year or so down the road.
Yeah, it could be advantageous to the county to own it or the town at that
I
time
know.
for grants.
Yep.
We're working with probably the two best people, two best firms, Rod Rinkenberg and Maumee River Basin Commission, and Christopher Burke. They're the number one really in the nation on this kind of stuff, and they're local.
Wow.
So they have ways of getting things done. And Rod, how many houses have they bought out in Decatur here?
Dozens here. Yeah.
Wasn't it, it's well over 140, something like
I
that?
don't know. It's a ton of them.
That
Yeah.
that they've taken out of the floodplain, you know, you drive through.
Well,
Park.
let's just decide, let's see what the study, get the money to do the study and
It's-
see
yeah.
what Christopher Burke comes up with. And
Yeah.
we'll
Mhm.
perhaps revisit it as things develop.
We will have to repair the outlet structure on that before winter. That drainage board can handle that. We'll do that with funds, because that is the whole system. So that will have to be done. That's actually where this all started from, me looking at that and figuring out that we
Holy
need to
crap.
do, we need to do maintenance on it.
Okay, any further questions concerning the Andrews? If not, let's move on to the Brewster.
Yep.
Mike?
That was with John Schwartz, to abandon one tile and accept their legal tile that was put in years ago. John was taking that petition to abandon around, and I give him a list of the people, and it was easier for him to do that since it's, 99% Amish there. And I said, you have to get, as the title shows, husband and wife. In true form, he just got the husbands to sign it.
That's
Because
the way it works.
the wives don't figure into that. So he's back to getting husband and wives as the title shows.
Sure.
So it's all good. Everybody agrees to it.
More of that.
I haven't found anybody that doesn't agree to
So,
it.
so once signatures are gathered up, then this board will make a decision.
Yeah,
as-
it'll be a
okay.
petition to abandon a legal tile and accept a private tile.
Well, maybe by next meeting, that might be on the
I
agenda.
hope so, but yeah. The culture is really
Interesting.
interesting, yeah. There you go.
Greg, you can write a book about that. I could add a few chapters myself. Okay, well, let's just leave that one alone for now. And, when that happens, Mike, put it on your agenda and the board will take the necessary action.
Yeah, okay, good.
Okay? Anything else on Brewster?
No, that's all on
Okay,
that.
Wagley Farlow?
Wagley Fire. So, we might have discussed this the last meeting. This is a picture, what you're looking at, of the county highway putting a new cross pipe in. You can see just the top of it there on 650 South by, would that be 200
East, yeah.
200 East. Well, we got called down there because what the heck's going on? And this is what we saw, and we've decided this is all private tile going into there. And they've repaired them to tie into their new drop structure. Oops, sorry. I should have Amy do this and not me. It'd be much better. This one. So, well, you can see Kevin out there. I think that's this is the way we all did. We stood there and we said, what the heck's going on? This is the legal tile. And this is after, this is before they repaired it. They did this much, the contractor there did this much on the tile. Kevin went out there the next day when we looked here and dug up the legal tile. And we thought we'd have to go, they took 2-3 sections of tile down there. It only took about 5 feet, 6 feet to get to a good tile where they tied onto here and repair that. So
What's the size of the tile?
that's 12-inch.
Okay.
12-inch there, teeter legal tile.
Oh. Yeah.
And what a mess. That's all we can say there.
Yeah.
So because of all the work they did, and he has given us this invoice for $4,162.50. That's the extra on this system. The highway department is looking for half of that, 50%, which is $2,063.25. Brad was in the hallway. They hauled stone down there for us, highway. Everybody just did this to get it repaired. That's a lot of money for our little repair, but in the grand scheme of things, I would request that you pay for that invoice out of the Wagley Farlow system. We have $28,862 in there. And because of the cooperation that we receive and we give them when the highway department works on these things.
So the bill to go through all this stuff was $4,126.50 from Ish.
That was the extras on this system.
Okay, now what's the, to the right, the
The right is
$15,710?
the entire bid price of that culvert pipe, $15,710.
And who paid for that?
Yeah.
That the highway department
Okay,
pays
so
for
the
all,
highway department
that's
paid
all
for all
theirs.
that.
Yep.
Okay, so we're
Yeah.
just discussing the 41, half of the 4126.
4126, to get
Okay.
us back into good shape
So
there.
Mike needs a motion for the drainage, out of Wagley Farlow to pay one half of the 41,126.50.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion's carried.
That will leave 26,800 in there.
Okay,
799.
okay, my question is, and this has nothing to do with your construction project.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the water gets there and it goes across the road.
Yeah.
And it gets into the muck.
It
How's
gets-
the flow?
So when I started here, was that 3 years ago, Paul had the project, it was a private project to dip that. So it was dipped from across the road there where it cuts the road there,
Right.
that intersection. And it's dipped all the way down there and that has to be dipped every 5 to 7 years because
Fills
of
in.
being in muck. Kevin Linnemeyer dipped it the last time, Tri-County Excavating. So that was when I started that, literally the second day or whatever, I went down to look at these projects.
Mike, on the other side of the road, on the other side of the stone road,
Uh-huh.
it angles over to 200.
Yes,
Okay, is that a tile that goes from there to
No.
200?
it's open then.
It's
it's open
open
drain,
through
yeah.
there?
It's open drain after that, all the way.
I know, from 200 it's open, but from 200 back to this box,
Yeah, it's open there. Yeah, it's open drain.
not a very big one.
No, you can stand in that one real easy.
Yeah.
I can get to it.
Okay, well, that's always gonna be a constant problem. At least if
Yeah.
you dip it every 5 years, it keeps things moving.
The owners and the farmers down there, they don't know where that tile goes, where our legal tile goes. Nobody knew. That's
Huh.
why, until we started digging and doing it, so,
Well,
that's.
do you need anything else on that? Anything else
Nope.
from the board on the Wagon Farlow then?
That's all I need, right?
Questions? JD, Greg, Steve, on that?
Good.
Good. And we're ready to move on?
Yep.
To the,
I'm going to.
number 7, Omsis Long.
I'm going to the next one here for you. Okay, Emphasis Long, I put this out for bid and, we received one bid back and I had a lot of calls. I told the guys to wait because it's wetlands, IDEM and, DNR have changed all their, procedures to do this.
We're going from the levee to the river, right?
Yeah, from the road, yeah, levee to the road, 850 south to the river.
Okay, to the river, okay.
And this is where I'm at here. I requested a review of that. DNR said that there's wetlands there. IDEM says we have to get special procedures to do that. So I requested a field visit by IDEM, Indiana Department of Environmental Management. And we met there last week, end of the week. And that was on Thursday. And let me get to another map for you. So here's a picture of what we had there. This is one of the sheets, and I have it in the file here. They're identifying all of these as wetlands. The river is right here at the south. So when we got out there, no, number one, the river was out. You guys had a lot of rain down
Yeah, we
there.
had that 4-inch rain Wednesday. He meant Thursday.
My boots weren't tall enough to get in there,
I believe it.
to walk that. So we walked through the high ground of the old landfill there. And I said, this area down here at the Wabash River, I said, I have no problem staying out of that. We'll just avoid that because there's enough fall there. And we don't have to work there. These other little places are constructed wetlands, they're calling them. That's the borrow pits for when they operated the landfill. And the lady who's in charge of this, she said, thank you for building all them nice wetlands. Because
She did
there's-
say that.
she said that. She thanked us because it's really good to have more wetlands. So I have to stay out of all these other places. And now how do I get down in there? Because we go in through them wetlands is what's been done in the past. So I went back down on Friday and walked that whole area and, walked the high ground. And I believe I found a place that we can get down in there without going through their wetlands or any large trees. That was their request. If we go through wetlands, we have to mitigate it, wetland credits, and all that. It's all in this thing. We don't want to do that. They were very agreeable. If I stay out of all these wetlands and the next question was, what are you gonna do with the spoil? You're gonna haul it out of there? And I said, no, I would really like to dip it out and lay it on the bench there, like we've done in the past. And the guy says, how do you put that? And I said, I'd like to level it out there on there. And he says, then you're gonna seed it? I said, yes, I'll seed that. So he agreed with me dipping it out, leveling it, if I seeded it.
So does our like drainage easement not apply here?
They said that. They know we're in drainage easement, so that's why they said that. That was in the discussion.
Yeah, you're gonna dip it to the east side of the.
Yeah, the east side and where it's been done in the past and we can level, we're gonna have to get rid of the brush there. Cause them trees the willows seem to go really good down.
What is that, about a quarter, it's not even a
It's-
quarter mile, is that?
Tell you that, got that.
Close, probably.
That one's done. Here's the stuff that come back from the permit. I've gone all through this. 1,600 feet from 850 south to the river. So we're probably gonna avoid, a couple hundred feet here. Where the big trees and the water is
A
there.
little bit over quarter.
I know what you're all thinking. Why did I go through all this stuff? Why didn't we just do it?
Go ahead, explain it.
Yeah.
There's too many eyes on it here. I can't.
Being a
do-
wetland, you
This-
better follow the rules.
We're in a new world, a new
Yeah.
time. So we're gonna have to do this on every time we get a wetlands.
What? Just had someone yesterday say, would you please keep your mouth shut and ask for forgiveness later if somebody comes around? And I said, no, I can't do that.
Yeah. So, what I have to do now is, I'm gonna do addendum to the bid, because I know what we can do. This was just Friday. I have to get with the waste, transfer, solid waste
waste,
management to be able to get into there. They're agreeable with it, so. This is quite a process. That's really my point here.
Well, and it's gonna get bigger. Maybe not that project, but
It's, yeah.
what we gave, Big Bear, is that what's it gonna be
Yeah.
called, Big Bear?
Right, Big Bear.
That is a disaster waiting to happen. It's 30 acres of surface water that can come in.
Now they are, the stormwater
I know.
detention is on
I just walked down there 2 days ago.
Yeah, I have to stop again. Well, last time I was there, they were still working on the street, you know.
Yeah.
Back.
And the reason I say that, now that 700 is being done, and I think that's a 4-foot concrete pipe that's gonna go down right along 27, right into that ditch. You're gonna increase water flow there.
The speed will get
Gosh.
faster than before, but it's the same amount of water, going down there because that's all, you know. there's no new water
Yeah,
going
I would
through
say,
it.
I agree with you about 90%,
Yeah, I'm,
because the drain, it's the same amount of water,
It'll get down there
so
faster.
just get down there a lot. But as the city grows, you know, it's gonna be a problem. The people who own that land, that
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with
The,
you.
the 400 and some benefited acres for the pumps, that's gonna become a bigger problem. It can't help,
If the pumps work.
well, they have to.
Right now, all the pumps except the little one to pump out the pit are out for maintenance. Every one of them went out, so, that's pretty interesting.
Just to
Well-
right now, just to let everybody know, the Amstel Long and those pumps, the system doesn't pay anything for pump repair.
No,
We've,
Nor
There's
does
an
the city.
association down there, right, Greg?
yeah, nor does the city.
Does,
Honestly, you
yeah.
Moser,
Supp-
Dwayne's still
oh,
chairman.
yeah. That's
I
a-
won't go there,
that-
but he's
that's-
still,
That's a separate
Dwayne is
problem.
treasurer. Dwayne's treasurer.
Yeah.
okay.
But I'm just saying, on down the road, that's gonna become a bigger problem. Because the city is gonna be forced, honestly, to put more water down that drain.
What I would like to hope for someday is what you're looking there at. Let me get to where I'm at, right there. So here's the property you're looking at. The Amstutz Long number 3 goes into the levee. Right here is the Dines open drain that goes directly into the Wabash River. Right here. I would love to see these additions up here tied into that Dines and go right to the Wabash River.
How could, okay.
So far, the property owners here do not agree with it. So they're not giving any leeway.
But, ultimately, somebody has to, the entity that's responsible for creating the additional stress on that system is gonna have to come to the table to pay to relieve that stress. Whether that
Thank you.
stress is relieved through improving the existing drain, or that stress is relieved by moving that water over to your other alternative.
We're moving it from one watershed into another.
So
there.
what we have to be willing to do is get tough on that and say, no, we're not approving a plan until you agree to our stipulations. We hold the cards there. We as the county hold the cards there.
Okay,
But we have to be willing to put our foot down and say, no, we're not gonna approve it till you agree to mitigate the stress that you're putting into the system.
Yeah, it's private property we're going across there and jumping watersheds.
Yeah.
Now Marquis is gonna put that addition in on the corner.
It's here.
Is that water going to Amstel Long?
Yes, that's going in,
But
yeah.
if they
there's-
go, if
there
they
is-
do north of 700, that's the one that they wanna relocate in.
That's what you're talking
Well,
about. You wanna
yeah.
move that to the other
Yeah, I would
watershed.
like to get all this stuff from here.
So Greg, to your point, I think we just have to play hardball.
well, yes, you will. And the other, well, it's a long shot. They could make so the pumps work and the people who run that now will have to take, dare I say this, a second seat or an equal seat with the town.
Is there, do you believe that is doable?
Yeah.
Then to me, again, I would rather, if that watershed is so stressed now to continue to add stress on that watershed, my preference would be to move it to the other watershed. But I'm with you. I don't think it's fair to that association down there that maintains those pumps to just say, we're gonna send more water to you, deal with it. That's
And that's
BS.
the attitude at
That's
the moment.
BS.
You just have to change that attitude.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know if it's an attitude, it's just, they don't even know.
They don't wanna know.
Don't know, don't care,
yeah.
Well, people, if you're, a lot of people just, if my water gets away, I'm happy.
Right.
Don't worry about anything else.
It's that way out in the country too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the problem that this board deals with all the time
Yeah.
is once the water leaves my property, I don't care whose property it impacts. So we have to fight that.
Okay, well, that's
Okay,
something.
so the bottom line on this,
Maybe didn't know by then.
for today, the bottom line on Amstel,
So it's long, we're working on getting that dipped and we have to dip it because there's a dam in there. obstructing, it's holding water in. So the floodgates on between the Amsterdam Long levee and the open drain are not opening properly because there's water in there.
Is that a
It
beaver
holds-
dam?
No, this is dirt. It's
This is-
sediment, what they pumped over from the
Yeah,
levee.
from the pumps.
Okay,
And that's where we have to get that dipped to get that out of there, so the
Right.
water can flow freely again when it's low. Right now,
so
it
what's
could be
the
flowing
time
out.
frame for getting this dipped?
This fall, we wanna get it done. When the water goes down.
It will.
Do
It'll
you
go
need
down.
anything from us in order to do that?
No,
Well,
I'll-
that
I'll bring it
river wasn't
back.
even out, just
Yeah,
a
once
few
you get
miles
it-
west.
Probably down
Well,
now.
you bring it back. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so once I get our bids
Cool.
down, I'll bring it back to you guys. We'll get it approved to,
That takes somebody with a pretty big hoe,
it
long
takes a
reach.
long reach in there. Yep.
Yeah.
And somebody willing to work in the,
So you're gonna put that
Conditions.
out for bid here shortly?
yeah,
then?
it is out for bid already. I have to amend it now because, because of IDIM. Because of our
And you only
plans.
had
to do it.
one interested party?
No, I got one back. I had another,
Okay.
3 of them call me on it,
All right.
saying, what is this about? Because they understood it too. So I said, hold off.
Okay, we're gonna get off this, but just for information, Jay County rents, they have some lands that need extra long excavators,
Mhm.
and they just rent one from Fort Wayne usually. And it's fairly reasonable.
Yep. 3 of the guys that we've asked for a bid have long enough reach to get in there.
Good.
So,
Okay, anything else on Amsterdam Long?
no,
If
that's-
not, we'll move on
that's
to
all I
the, John Thomas.
Okay, let me get back over there. So this is one that's in Wells County. All right, I have to get back to where we are. The John Thomas, and I met down there with the guys. Greg might have been on that. We met on, they wanted to come up to my office. I said, no, let's meet down there on the bridge. So we met there. It was a really good constructive thing. We would like, we have bids out from here where the tiles dump into the John Thomas, where my cursor is. And then they would like to go up to this point right here, 5,495 feet. From here north, what they tell me is rock bottom.
Rock.
And the guys that farm up there, do you remember what they said, Greg? They said, if you dip that out on my land, we're gonna get after you.
The
Because
only
they
way
pick
they
up some-
wanna be willing to do that, and it would be well,
We
nothing's
have to,
comprehensive.
we would have to haul it out of
You
there
have to haul
because
the stone away.
they don't want them on their.
No.
The stone or
The
dirt?
stones.
It's just, it's rock.
Okay.
And every time you scratch rock, you get a little more out. You know, you go a little deeper. So this, again, we have the bids out. We haven't gotten any of them back
Where's the
yet.
county line, Mike?
This is the county line right here. This is
What's south is it again?
700 west and 1,000 south.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going into Wells County here, but that's the way it works on the John Thomas. We have that to do. I haven't been able to get a hold of Jared yet because he's
The
busy,
Reynolds
busy.
property out there?
Pardon?
Reynolds?
No, Gerber's own the land to the north of that. And then to the south of that is, that might be Gerber's too.
Well, I can tell you here.
And,
This is Carl Keller.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I can't get Dunmore, and I can't get into Wells County. I can get it for you if you want me to move
Yeah.
over there to Wells County.
so, yeah, that's where that is. And,
Randy Plummer was down there.
yeah, and there's rock back in there some places too.
Mhm.
It's where they put the 30-inch tile in about 5 years ago, out in your neck of the woods. Right near the county line.
Right here.
It
Yep.
was a great project.
So what we're doing is getting rid of the brush and we're dipping out a flat ditch there. That's what they say. There's really no flow on that.
Okay.
So I'll get the bid and I'll bring that one back to you also.
Yeah, that's right.
These are all unusual ones.
Project there, 5 years. Yeah, big project. So what, you're dipping, it's just a dip job, right?
We're gonna brush it. We have to brush it.
You brush it.
Brush it, yep.
So it's actually north, what we're talking about is north of the project that was done 5 years ago.
Yes. Well, there might be a little bit of dipping, right? They said you might go back and get some places between 1,000 and 1150.
As we go in, yeah, right.
So when you stop the dipping going north,
We're-
does it get better? Things get better?
No, it's just gonna-
Get the rock.
It doesn't get better, I don't believe. We're just getting this section out from here up to here so that it can flow through there again.
So if there's a problem in Wells County, that's Wells County's.
Yeah, but we're in charge of the ditch there, yeah. This is this is a joint ditch that we have the majority of it, Adams County does, so
Yes.
Adams County does that one.
So we're responsible for the Wells County part of it too?
Yeah, they're paying money to us. Yeah, they collect it and they send it to us, and on the other, Worthing Lambert and the others, we collect money and send it to them.
Okay, what's the timeline for this one, Mike?
By fall, they want this after harvest. So that's why the bids are out now and we haven't received them back. These,
You
they're all
mentioned,
unusual.
you mentioned they don't want the dirt on the property. What in fact are you gonna do?
No,
They don't want stone on the property.
Okay, well,
On the bank.
rightfully so, okay.
that's why we're stopping where my cursor is here. Because from here north to 950 south and north is rock bottom, and every time you dip them, you get more rock out.
Okay.
And you can't put it along the edge like we did the one
See,
a
that would
couple
be
years ago.
Alberson Cemetery.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, boy, yeah,
it's,
it's a tough one.
if,
Okay,
if
well,
anybody wants an education on this, just come along with me, JD, and get this stuff.
Sounds interesting.
It is.
yeah, nobody wants rock on their property. How about any further questions on John Thomas? Moving on, that, we don't need any kind of action on this, you
No,
got the
I'm
bids
gonna
out?
get the bids in, I'll bring them back in.
Okay,
I just wanted you guys to know, we have a lot of,
irons in the fire.
interesting stuff coming
yeah,
up.
well, and it never quits. Let's move on to Zinnerman.
Okay, that's 400 west, now I get around the county,
Yeah,
400 west, and
speaking of getting around the county,
we didn't get enough.
just what's on my mind, what's the status on vehicle?
I have the bid ready to get out, I haven't done it because of, I just haven't taken time to do it,
Okay,
it's my fault. It's,
I think it's coming out of our 2026
Yeah,
budget though anyway,
2025.
so we couldn't
Yeah.
do it.
can't do anything now anyhow.
that's where we're at, otherwise they would have to get
Yeah,
you guys would have to get
well,
a,
just review my mind a little bit on that.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
how about the
it's-
Zinnerman?
it's still on, so here we go.
7 bid requests have been sent to contract.
Get in here.
North Eagle.
Okay, so here we are at 124 and 400 west. And where we want to start dipping is right here. The picture got kind of reduced on your budget, so we're looking, right here is the head of that ditch, 300 west. I'm not right there. I'm not right on that. Right here. On the Norris drain. So this is a pretty cut and dried one, very little brush. And they would like to go up to where it dumps into the Zimmerman here. Is where our intention is. It's 3,360 feet. This is the farmers there. It's actually pretty flat here again also. This is a pretty flat one, but it flows. So just for information for you, this is actually a clean cut one.
It's just a dip.
It's a dip and level.
Dip and level.
Dip and level, no brushing here,
Brushing.
all the way through this section,
70
from there to there.
7,200 feet?
No, I got,
3360 feet,
33 something.
3360 feet.
oh, no, that's wrong, 7,200 feet, sorry.
Oh.
No,
When did you have
You got,
that?
you got
Norris.
the paper.
Norris.
On
no,
our,
I'm on the wrong ones.
Yeah. You have to go to the next page, the back page,
Yep.
to see it.
72, it is
7,200 feet.
7,200, right?
Project ahead of you.
This actually is a very old ditch. It was dug in the middle 1900s here, or this century. That's why it's so straight.
Yeah,
It was a tile and they dug it out to
opened it up.
open it up.
Okay.
And
So you got bids have been already
The
requested?
bids are requested. We haven't got any of them back yet. That was just last week, wasn't it? We sent them
So
out.
that's a project that you wanna get done this fall too?
Yeah, that's after harvest again.
After harvest,
After
okay.
harvest, yeah.
Any questions on the Norris Legal as it feeds into what was Zimmerman? No? Okay, then we're ready to move on to Henry Graver.
Yep, Henry Graver, the Searest, 300 south and 300 west.
300 south, 300 west.
Where the curve in the road is there on 300.
Oh,
300 south,
South, 300 west.
I'm wrong.
That'd be
300 west, I went the
close to
wrong.
Max Bear right there.
I
Max
went the
Bear
wrong-
and 300 south, I think.
Yeah.
I went
What do you
the-
got, what do we got here on Henry
Um,
Graver?
So we wanna dip that, Searest open drain. 3,360 feet. I have also, have bids out on that one. And this is a clean cut one, not a problem. I'm getting over to it. Right, here we go. Okay. Here's the curve on 300
Yeah,
south, and the Segrist comes over here, and this drains way over here. And they do have a nice waterway here, but it's pretty much all tillage and and a lot of sediments in there. It's full. Actually, it's only full about up to this bracker, but going halfway didn't make sense. We're gonna go all the way over to the Henry Graver is where we're requesting. So that one also is just open for bids, just for information.
but why did you just limit it to 3,300 feet?
Well, that's the amount of the open drain here. That's the length.
Oh,
of
then
it.
it goes
So it
into.
empties into a tile.
Yeah, it starts with a tile, the head of it over here, and then it empties into the Henry Graver
Okay,
ditch at the
so
curve.
you're going from the tile to the road,
Yeah, we want tile to the road. This is a clean cut one,
okay?
nothing unusual. in
That's
that.
this fall too?
Yeah, that's after harvest also, the guys.
You have an issue with, you get a lot of projects here between after harvest and before and fall. We have a
so-
problem with contractors.
No, so far they're willing to go, so, and it's gonna be a nice fall, no rain.
Good,
so-
all right. Glad you got that scheduled.
So, did, the local, the farmers request that?
Yes, they requested here, and I walked the whole way, and, most of the sediment is here at this bracker, where that dumps in, that's the end of the sediment, a little bit past it,
Okay,
but it didn't make sense not to go all the way through there.
Right.
While we're there. At the head here, their tiles are underwater,
yeah.
or under dirt. So,
Any questions to Mike on the, Henry Graver? None? Okay, keep us filled in on when we need a,
Yeah.
on
and
accepting bid. And then, the Farm Bureau Drainage School, I saw that.
the last thing is the Farm Bureau Drainage School. I have reserved our training room again downstairs. And I've registered for it. It's $50 in per, 25 for virtual, for 500 members. I'll do it, and I assume, Bill Wimhoff will, because he uses it for in-service for his registered land surveyor license. It qualifies. They get credits for that. If anybody wants to come down there, you can. Technically, we have to do the registration.
Well, we got commissioners
Yeah,
meeting
we're-
that day with
We're
a luncheon.
wall.
So take Steve and I out of the,
If you want to see the agenda, it's here.
it's usually good school. It's usually good information.
It is. It's more legal and technical stuff
Right.
with what they do. So,
Okay, anything else for the good of the order? Greg, JD, Steve, anything for
No.
Mike or
I'm-
Amy?
I
Amy,
am
you're up to
good.
speed on everything, I'm sure. Okay, good. If nothing else, then we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move adjourned.
Okay, move, all in favor, of adjourn?
All right.
Adjourn.
Hey, thanks for coming in, guys.
thank you. Even though we didn't do much today,
Yeah, we did a lot.
the next one will be real easy.
Good
We
information.
just accept the bids.
Figure out who's paying for it.
Yeah, that's a big job. Drainage, big job.
It
People
is.
don't realize,
And it's not easily understood.
and I think,
Again, I'm so thankful that we have somebody other than me help figure this
and
out.
if, I think we're either second or third in the state on the
On-
number of miles of legal tile and open ditch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
Continental Divide.
That's that, and then you have such a tight soil. It's more tile.
Just me.
And rather flat.
Allen County has more because of the size.
Yeah, it's huge.
Allen County's working on a stream flow plan. They're mapping and calculating the stream flow on every one of their open drains. So when somebody comes in for a project like this or building, because it's turning into housing up there, they can look at what that stream is flowing and they will require everyone to mitigate their,
So they don't increase
Into
the
that.
stroke flow, huh?
yeah. Yep, they're on every stream. Christopher Burke is in the process of doing that for them.
Who is the surveyor in Allen County now?
Michael.
Mike,
Frucci, Mike Frucci. He's a registered, professional
He's
engineer,
also the president of the MRBC right now.
MRBC. He's, a good guy. He,
Seems to be a good guy. I like listening.
There-
to him.
Mike, did you want to still be recording?
We need to sign minutes, don't run off, right?
we're done, yeah.
Yeah, we're adjourned. We need to sign minutes, Greg, JD, don't run off.
They've got it.
Oh, they got it
We
already.
thought we'd just record all the way on through.
But I saw the mic came on, so I assumed it was still.
I got it.
Wait, Greg wasn't here that time.
No.
I